Republican vice presidential nominee JD Vance making a stop in Kent County today to rally support for former President Donald Trump.
The Ohio senator spoke in Byron Center this afternoon addressing the economy and manufacturing jobs. The visit comes as Kent County is once again expected to be a key player in deciding November's presidential election.
Our political reporter Rick Albin spoke with Vance one-on-one earlier today. Rick?
The whole idea that JD Vance was here in Byron Center at a company just a couple of miles away really speaks to the idea that the Trump-Vance tickets understands that in suburban areas like this, where there have been traditionally reliable Republican voters, they didn't show up in 2020, and they somehow have to reach out to them and say, we want you back in this party. That was one of the reasons. One of the other reasons, of course, is to talk about the economy that he says is harming that small business that we were attending today, as well as individual families. But inadvertently, something else happened, and it actually was part of a question I talked to the senator earlier today, but in two separate instances. One is I left the event, another just a few moments ago. People came up assailing me about fake news and some of the other things that people like to yell at reporters. And it reminded me that this goes on pretty frequently. And it also was the question that hours earlier I had posed to the vice presidential candidate. How do you turn down the rhetoric? How do you turn down the heat and the volume? How do you make politics something that people are interested in again? Politicians have complained about each other and said ugly things about each other from the beginning of time, but it's been raised to a new art form, it seems, as if. And a lot of people that I talk to, and including me, are just worn out from listening to it. What can you do as a new face on the campaign trail to try to make people want to vote again?
You know, I think that what I can do is, one, obviously I'm bringing a fresh face to the race. A lot of people don't know who I am. I'm only 40 years old, and so I do think I bring a different generation's perspective to the problems of the day. But I think the reason that people are disenchanted with politics is that leaders don't talk enough about policy. They don't talk enough about how, if you have smarter policy, you can unleash America's spirit and actually get this country moving in the right direction again. So that's what I'm going to do every single day, is talk about how we have a vision. Donald Trump and I have a vision that if we govern more effectively, your life is going to get better. Housing is going to become more affordable. Groceries are going to become more affordable. Energy is going to become more affordable. We'll restore some peace to a world that is very much at war. We have the ideas and we have the vision. I think if you focus on the ideas and the vision and not on the personal attacks, then I think that's really how you bring some vigor back into the political process. Look, I mean, Kamala Harris, there's a lot to criticize her over, right? There are a lot of policies where we're going to disagree. And I think it's interesting, if you compare the two campaigns, what Donald Trump and I are saying is, look, these policies have failed the American people. Kamala Harris is taken to calling half the country weird instead of articulating a vision for how she's going to get America back on track. I think, hopefully, most Americans are going to reject that approach because they like a positive vision, which is what President Trump and I are out there offering.